It was supposed to be just another lonely evening. Emma sat at the corner table of the softly lit restaurant, nervously glancing at the door every few seconds. She'd spent an hour choosing that pale blue dress, the one her sister said made her eyes look like trust. But trust was the last thing she felt right now. The waiter had already refilled her water glass twice. Her blind date was 30 minutes late. Another disappointment, she thought bitterly. Maybe she should have listened to her instincts. After all, what kind of man lets a woman sit alone, embarrassed, while he doesn't even text? She sighed, fidgeting with the napkin on her lap, when suddenly two tiny figures appeared at the entrance. Twin girls, no more than 6 years old, holding hands and scanning the room with wide, searching eyes. They whispered to each other, then pointed toward Emma. Before she could process what was happening, they skipped over and stood by her table. The smaller one, with a messy braid and missing front tooth, spoke first. "Are you Miss Emma?" Emma blinked, startled. Yes." The other one, clutching a small stuffed bunny, took a deep breath. "Our daddy's sorry he's late. He's parking the car." For a moment, Emma just stared at them, confused. "Your daddy?" They nodded eagerly. "He said to tell you he's really sorry. And that we should keep you company till he comes." Emma's heart softened instantly. The waiter raised an amused eyebrow as he passed by. The twins giggled and climbed into the chairs across from her, dangling their legs as if this was the most natural thing in the world. The one with the braid leaned forward. "You look like a princess," she said with absolute sincerity. Emma laughed, her earlier frustration melting away. "You two are quite the charmers. What are your names?" "I'm Lily," said the braid. "And that's Lucy. We're 6.5. They began talking, a whirlwind of innocent chatter about their favorite cartoons, how Lucy hated broccoli, and how their dad burned pancakes but called it extra flavor. Their laughter was contagious. Emma found herself smiling so hard her cheeks hurt. Then came the sound of hurried footsteps. A man in a slightly wrinkled dress shirt appeared at the doorway, scanning the tables until his eyes landed on them. He rushed over, looking flustered, holding a small bouquet of daisies. "I am so sorry," he said, out of breath. "Traffic, a spilled juice box, a forgotten bunny, you name it." He gave an awkward chuckle and rubbed the back of his neck. "Hi, I'm Daniel." Emma stood, surprised, and maybe, just maybe, a little intrigued. He wasn't what she expected. There was no designer watch, no polished arrogance, just a man who looked like he'd run through life's storms and still managed to show up with flowers. He smiled shyly. "I hope my assistance didn't overwhelm you." "Not at all," Emma said, glancing at the girls who were now feeding sugar packets to their stuffed bunny. They might have saved the evening. Dinner was nothing like she'd imagined. It wasn't polished or perfect. The twins kept interrupting, spilling water, and giggling loudly. Daniel apologized each time, but Emma found herself enjoying it, the chaos, the warmth, the honesty of it all. Halfway through dessert, Lucy asked, "Miss Emma, do you like Daddy?" Daniel nearly choked on his coffee. Emma's eyes widened, then softened into a smile. "I think your daddy is very kind." The girls exchanged knowing looks and whispered loudly enough for both adults to hear, "We told you she'd like him." After dinner, they all walked to the parking lot together. The twins ran ahead, chasing each other under the dim lights. Daniel slowed his pace beside Emma. "I didn't mean for them to crash the date," he said softly. "Their babysitter canceled last minute." "I didn't want to cancel on you again." "Again?" she asked. He nodded, embarrassed. "Last month. My wife passed away a year ago. I've been trying to find balance. But dating feels impossible when you're raising two whirlwinds." Emma looked at him, the weight of his words settling between them. The laughter of the twins echoed in the background, a sound both joyful and achingly human. "You didn't need to apologize," she said gently. "They're wonderful." He smiled, relief flickering in his eyes. "Thank you. Most people don't say that." They stood there for a moment, the night wrapping around them like a quiet promise. The twins came running back, breathless. "Daddy, can Miss Emma come for pancakes tomorrow?" Daniel groaned, mortified. "Girls." Emma laughed. "Only if they're extra flavor, right?" The twins cheered, and Daniel shook his head, smiling despite himself. As they said goodbye, Emma slipped into her car, watching through the windshield as Daniel buckled his daughters into their seats. The little one waved her stuffed bunny at her. Emma waved back, her chest tightening in a way she hadn't felt in years. That night, as she lay in bed, her phone buzzed. A message. Daniel, thank you for not leaving when I was late. My girls can't stop talking about you. Emma smiled at the screen. For once, she didn't feel like love had stood her up. Maybe it had just been running late, parking the car, holding tiny hands, and carrying daisies instead of perfection.